All right, guys, how's it going? So, this is the notes for the PTR coming up, and some of the changes that are going to be coming in basically the expansion. Some of it's for the expansion, some of it is for Eternal, but either way, it's a big change. This is no longer Diablo 4 as we know it. This is like Diablo 4.2.0, I guess. I don't know. Because this fucking thing doesn't look anything like what I started with, which is not a bad thing. It's nice for the games to change and evolve. And this one has actually moved in the right direction up until season 5 here. And season 5 is good too. We're having a good time. We just had the Diablo 4 March of the Goblins event, which last time wasn't so good. This time was a little bit better. I talked about that in a video that we just put out today. You should check it out. But this fucking thing that they got, it is so different. We're gonna go over it, but I wanted to leave it up here so you could see what I think Rob 2628 would look like if he was an old timey blacksmith. That's pretty hilarious. Just put some little white buds in his ears, and that's him. So the TLDR is pretty long. I've got notes. It is going to be running from next week, Wednesday the 4th through the 11th for the PTR. Let's see. Let's start down here, shall we? Leveling adjustments. There's so much. I mean, okay, it's no longer level 100. It's level 60. I'm not really sure how it works. I think that the Paragon, I think it starts once you hit 60, sort of the way that Diablo 3 did. And by the way, there's going to be a lot of things in here that are very much like Diablo 3. In fact, there's going to be a lot of things in here from not just Diablo 3, but Diablo 2, and I think some from Diablo 1. Like it's almost as if they said, "Hey, listen, we had a shit game when we started, or rough. We'll call it rough around the edges. We've evolved. It's kind of a mess. We need to reboot. Let's come up with some good ideas." And they all just went out and got all the successful ideas that worked in the past versions of Diablo and said, let's change it up and do that. And they kind of are. So level 60 is the cap. I think that you get your Paragon after that. Paragon is completely changed, which we'll go over in a little bit. They did a stat crunch, a health crunch, gear crunch. Everything's should still play the same ish with improvements, of course, which is kind of something we've been seeing trend through the seasons. So I've felt like the numbers that my characters Barb does has actually gone down, but my success rate has gone up. So like it's almost like the game got easier and my character got stronger in comparison, but the numbers were kind of coming down almost, or staying the same, which this kind of feels like it's going to be the same thing. My level's going to be smaller. My armor numbers are going to be smaller. My health, strength, all that's going to be lower, but I should actually perform better in the game. So I kind of think that's what that is. We'll see what happens. They've got new difficulty levels like Diablo 3, normal, hard, expert. I think it used to be in Diablo 3, I think it was normal, hard, expert, and then torment, if I'm right. It could be something else. I don't know. But don't worry, just because those are there, you still got your torments. Don't worry. Um, so I think how it goes is you're going to go through these, and then when you get to here, you'll be able to do like a pit or something. You'll get access to pit. And then as you do pit levels, you'll be able to get into these. Reaching 60 unlocks the pit. So you, yeah, okay. So you level to 60 and that unlocks the pit. For the first 20. When you do the 20, I believe it, if I'm reading this correctly, it unlocks tier 1, 35, tier 2, 50, tier 3, 65, tier 4. Now 65 is supposed to be, I mean, pretty heavy duty. It's not going to be the tiers that we have right now, like our world tiers, tier 4. It's not going to be that. And it's weird. They did some other things that I'm sure that we'll understand them later on, but it is what it is. Once you start hitting your torments, you start losing your resistances, which is kind of a bummer, but it is, you know, that it's kind of a standard. It brings up the difficulty and, you know, etc. Glyphs. Glyphs are changed. So the top tier glyph is now 100. And you level those up inside of the pit. And the way it works is if you played Diablo 3, you had your helmet gems that you could go and you did dungeons, and I believe you had 3 natural and then 1 if you didn't die attempts to level that up. And depending on the difficulty of the dungeon that you did was the percentage chance that you had to level it up. So if you had a high level gem and you did a low level dungeon, the chance to level it up was going to be really low. And chances are you would break that attempt. But if you had something 10 levels above what your gem was, and that's kind of how it looks like it's going to be for this. 10 levels up would be 100%. So we'll see how that goes. And it no longer is just one radius increase. So you get a radius. So let's see, where does it say? Talk about the radius increases. Right here. They goofed up on that. I don't know why they don't proofread these things enough. I don't know. 14 to 14. It's not 14 to 14. 14 to 15 gets you a radius increase. And then at level 45, you get another radius increase. As you can see here, little guys, it will be interesting. Of course, I just did that. They're going to limit the panels that we can do. I'm not sure how many that is. I still need to look that up, but I'm going through my list here. There is a new Paragon board for everybody. Everybody gets a new at least one, I believe. And like I said, they are limiting us. Our Paragon is going up from 200 to 300, so we should be able to fill that out nicely. I think the limit on Paragon boards, I believe they said, was to encourage us to use more of the rare nodes rather than just throw more glyphs in there. Not a bad idea, I guess. I still don't like it. I don't like anytime they try and control the direction I try and take my character. And if I want to throw a bunch of glyphs in, I want to throw a bunch of glyphs in. If I want to do a bunch of rares, I'll do a bunch of rares. Whatever works for me is what I want to do. And when they limit me, I don't know why they do that. And it makes me wonder, and I dislike it. So there's that. There it is right there. Only 5 Paragon boards can be equipped. So that sucks. But on the nice side is once you unlock Paragons, they're unlocked for all your characters. So much like in Diablo 3, once you got Paragon on a character, you started a new character, it would have that Paragon. And I think with the new characters, you have to actually level up your not world tiers, torment difficulties or whatever for them to actually unlock. But I think for each level that you do unlock, you will get a certain amount of them. Item levels. So they're crunching all the items down to like 400 or 500, 540 or something like that. There it is. Item quality rework. Where is it? They are, yeah, 540. They're crunching them all down to 540. Legendaries will be up to 750, and all ancestrals will be power level 800. And I believe all ancestrals, okay, so they start in Torment 1. They all drop at 800, the highest possible. They all will have at least 1 greater affix on them. And that's the only place that greater affixes will appear, which is interesting. Let's see, what's this one? And I believe they also highlight, there's some highlighting that goes on. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see when it comes out. New skills and passives. Everybody gets some new stuff. Barbarians get the mighty throw. I'm a barb playing dude. I've played barb forever, since Diablo 1. I've always liked barb. And not that I haven't played others. I've enjoyed I enjoyed playing the Sork this season. I was heavy into Druid in Diablo 2 back in the day. Diablo 3, I loved the monk. So, I mean, but I always played barb too at the same time. I always played barb. So I'm looking at this from a barb aspect, and mighty throw, that is a real clunky animation. I sure hope that I don't have to wait for that animation to complete before I can do it again. I don't know. I'm not excited about that. We'll just say that. That could change. That could change a lot, you know. We'll see what happens and see what combinations happen with it. It might be something that does crazy numbers. We'll see. Druids get Stone Burst. This ability right here, kind of AoE smash down of a bunch of stuff, which is nice. Rapid fire almost. I mean, that's just what they needed, more AoE, but whatever. Soul Drift for the Necromancers, which actually looks pretty cool. That reminds me of Last Epoch, by the way. And I don't know if they're ripping it off or not, but I liked it in Last Epoch. You do this, you kill a bunch of stuff, you get more defense. That's almost exactly Last Epoch. So, rogues get Dance of Knives, which is pretty cool. We've seen that before also. Most recently, I think we saw that in, Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals. That is very much reminded me of that. And Star-Lord's special ability. If you play Marvel Rivals, Star-Lord right there, that's kind of what it looks like. Sorcerers get familiars, and the way that works is you cast a spell, whatever type of spell, ice, fire, whatever, and that you'll be able to summon a familiar of that type to fight for you a little bit. We got a bunch of passives. I won't go through all this because it's really just something you need to sit down and read and go over in depth. Uh, Everybody's got them. So this is the big announcement right here. This was the big thing that everybody was kind of hoping for. It's the big thing that we had all anticipated. Rune words. Everybody remembers rune words. If you've been playing the Diablo series, rune words were a big part of it, and it's back. It's back. There's a lot of info on rune words, and we'll try and get a brief touch into it and give you an idea. There's two types of runes. There's offerings and invocations. Now, offerings are like the build up charge, they build up the mana, for the ability. And then there's the invocation, which is the ability itself that activates. So like this is an offering. Every 5 meters you travel, you trigger it, whatever. Or you build up. And then this one is you can spend some to, and there's a picture there's better pictures that'll pop up here in a second. There it is. Gain 50 offering every 5 meters you move. And this is use 500 offering and you get to teleport, which is pretty cool, and become unstoppable, which triggers a lot of abilities, and it's going to be neat. And there's a lot of these. You can only have 2 rune words equipped at a time. So that's 4 of these runes. You can only put them in items that have 2 sockets. So like the legs, the chest, the your 2-handed weapons, and now your helmets. Helmets are getting a socket as well. Surprise. You will be able to craft these. I don't know how that works. Nobody knows how that works yet. It's not really out there, but it should be interesting. I'm sure that there'll be some rare craftables out there that will be... I don't know if you have to find the recipes or learn the recipes or if they're just there, but we'll see how that works. I won't go through all these. You'll have to go through them as well. I'm sure that there's different difficulties of them. Oh, also on the offerings, if you have one that offers too much, there's something that's called overflow, and I don't know if that's what this is to, like, I'm not sure what the overflow is. Let's see. We'll have to find out. I didn't read about that. Maybe they're not telling what the overflow is yet. I don't see anything that says overflow. So, oh, right there. So this one requires 800 offering. Overflow increases the duration. So that's cool. So overflow, gain multiple attacks. Overflow, increased duration. Further reduces cooldowns, increases resources restored. So that's, you get a second ability to it if you have overflow for some of these. And there's a lot, so go through them. There's the rune crafting at the jeweler, which is interesting. And you'll be able to do, I don't know if they're all random, but we'll find out. Runes can also be used to craft mythics at the jeweler. So it's going to be interesting. So it's going to take a resplendent spark, which you get from a mythic, and 10 legendary runes of a specific name, 10 rare runes of a specific name, and 10 magic runes of a specific name. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Party Finder finally coming. We've all been asking it since the game came out. And they kind of had to because they put in a new end game called Dark Citadel that you can only do in a group. And so without the group finder, it would be pretty tough for a lot of people to do any of it. I hear that the group finder is very specific. If you're looking to get carried, or if you're looking to carry others, or if you're looking to do specific areas, like it's very in depth, I think. I hope that there's more generalized for the start of it, because I think it's going to be overwhelming for a lot of people. We'll see what happens. Also, let's see. So they're talking about stuff they want us to test, blah, blah, blah. They want us to just play the game, really. New mythics. We won't go through all these. There's some interesting stuff, though. There's this one that adds +1 to all your passives, plus a bunch to your stats. If you haven't attacked in the last 2 seconds, gain stealth and 40% movement speed, which is kind of cool. That's a chest warmer. So it's got some resource generation, no damage reduction though. But I think the stealth is something to do with that. We won't go through all these. New tempering. More on the new stuff. The shrines. The shrines are going to scale. Let's see. Let's see if we can get down here. This is a lot. A lot. And just keeps going and going and going. Aspects, balance updates. Ultimate skills can now have additional ranks. So you're going to be able to put up to 5 skill ranks in, just like all your other skills, into your ultimate. Which is probably better for some than other classes, because some ultimates are superior. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if there's going to be items that allow it to go past that. That'll be interesting to see. We've seen people with just got out like 18, 19 in a passive. So I wonder if we'll see something like that in these as well. More aspects, more blah blah. We'll that's just too much. I'll put a link down below, like I said, so that you guys can go look at all of this stuff. It is really so much. Shrines are going to scale off your weapon. So if it does damage, like Blast Wave, it's going to scale off your weapon now. So lower levels, higher levels, whatever, it's going to be, I don't know. I think they already did that on some of the stuff. I think they did that on like the seasonal potion last season. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I think we already see a little bit of it though. Let's see. Keep going. We need to get to so much. There's so much. There's so much. I keep saying so much. I know, but it's because it's a new game. It really is. Unique items. That's what is that what I, nope, that's class specific still. Class specific still. There it is. Shrine updates, blah, blah, blah. Artillery, blast wave, conduit. Those are all going to scale off your weapon damage. all uniques are now anchored to bosses. So you will not be able to get certain uniques from multiple bosses anymore. You'll be able to target farm. So if you need something, it's going to be on one boss, and you farm that boss over and over until you get it, pretty much, depending on random. Which is kind of nice, I guess. We kind of already had that. We knew what dropped off of them. We could still target farm. I don't know why they wanted to take it and anchor it to one specific, but that's what they did. The gauntlet is going away for this season opener. I'm not sure if they'll bring it back mid-season or not. I think they said because they wanted, it's so much changing, they wanted to see how it plays out before they put the gauntlet in there, which I think just eliminates random people getting a chance to win it, because all these people that are like the 1% gamers that this is their job, they do it all day long, they're going to have an extreme advantage over anybody all the time in that. They have time to get the best gear, tune it up the best, practice the most. So that's who the gauntlet's for, in my opinion. I didn't play it. I don't like it. I think the gauntlet could go fuck itself. And I think that's dog shit, and they need to take it out of the game. It's not for the everyday gamer. I'm for the everyday gamer. I play a lot, and I'm still just an everyday gamer. And I think that that is not for us. That is for the 1% of the 1% who this is their job, and they all go measure their dicks together, and good for them. It's not for me. It's not for us. I don't like it. They need to get rid of it, in my opinion. What else? There's just so many. That's about it. There's some user interface, and there's some quality of life stuff in there. We're getting a new tab. So I believe we're going to get a tab just for our socketables like gems and rune words. I think we're also getting an extra row of equipment space in our normal bag. Maybe another. I think we're getting a new tab slot as well. Somebody mentioned they saw like a key symbol. It wouldn't be too weird for Blizzard to make a key ring. I believe we had that in World of Warcraft at one point. Back to top. But there is a lot of changes. Like I said, I will put a link in the video here for you guys to go and look at this and look at your specific class and kind of see where you're going to be. I'm looking forward to the PTR just to kind of wet my toe, put my toe in and see what the temp's like. I think it's going to be fun. But I hope that we can play the new class. We've seen other people playing it. They invited the streamers to come and play it. They streamed it. It was at Gamescom. I'd like my chance to try it out before it comes out too. I think that probably 90% of the players want to play it and see what it's like and determine whether or not they want to play it in the next, in the expansion. And so, yeah, that's the TLDR. That's my opinion of stuff. If you don't like it, that's fine. Don't watch me. But there's some good in there. There's some bad in there. More good than bad. A lot more good than bad. And I think they're moving in the right direction. I think it's like them gathering everything together and kind of making a good base. I almost feel like this is like the real starting point. I know we keep saying that this is like the real starting point, but I mean they're doing a good job. They are going in the right direction. I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the way it plays. A lot of times, all these guys will go out there and find the most damage that they can do, and it's fun and to them because it's the biggest numbers and it's real clunky, but they get it nailed down by modifying their keys and doing all this funky stuff. I enjoy a good, just smooth gameplay. Spin to win has always been fun. Timing's important on that. It's not crazy. You don't have to do 3 leaps into a basket and a double backflip to the left to make sure that you do a quadruple crit and get 1,000,000,000 damage. I like classes I can face roll on. Like Sork this season. Sork was super easy, super powerful, super fun, having a good time. I'm doing all the content. That's the most important thing, is I'm enjoying playing the class and I'm doing all the content. So hopefully we'll see some of that. I will be playing the new class in the expansion, and hope to see you there. Come back. We'll be streaming it live. If you like these videos that I'm doing, I'm pretty new to them. If you don't like them, or if you have criticism, leave a comment. Tell me to eat shit and die, whatever. I don't care. But hopefully this helps somebody, and we'll see you next time. All right, guys. Later.